Hey friends, I have been absent from this corner of the internet for most of this year at this point. So let's do a proper catch up on all of the exciting things happening. I can't wait to fill you in. I ended 2025 on such a high note. I felt productive, energized, excited. You might know that for the first time ever in my entire life, I completely blacked out my goals bingo board and I hit 100,000 subscribers here on YouTube. So thank you so much for being with me. That's been something I've been working towards for almost 12 years now. And I really finished the year off on such a high. And then as things go, the pendulum swung back the other way. I don't know if it was because in January through March, it was dark, it was stormy, it was cold, if I burnt myself out, or some combination of all of that. But this was one of the things that kind of had to drop. But I do firmly believe that at any point in time, you can just decide, we are so back. And baby, we're back. At least for now, at least for today. Before we get into all of the chaos, the wedding detail updates, the budgeting fails, the questionable life choices, first, I'd like to talk to you about today's sponsor. This partnership makes so much sense to me right now because in this season of my life, I have been clinging to simplifying anything that shouldn't be as complicated as it is. I say this all the time, pay for what matters to you and what you care about, and stop overspending on anything that you don't. Phone bills are one of those life essentials that we all have to pay. We don't particularly like it, but there's nothing really to be done about it. And because of that, phone companies will kind of increase the price on you over the time and hope you won't notice. It's a sneaky leak. That leak is costing you month over month, and it's stealing from you being able to spend on stuff that you'd rather spend your money on. I have used budget wireless plans for the entirety of this channel and most of my adult life, and I have never once missed overpaying for my phone plan. So I am excited to work with Visible. Their plans start at just $25 per month, and that includes unlimited text, talk, and data, taxes and fees included. It runs on the Verizon network, so you know you've got great coverage everywhere. There's no hidden nonsense, no giant contracts, and best, no spending an entire afternoon in a phone store. You can keep your current phone or get a new one, activate in just minutes, and move on with your life. This is my absolute favorite type of financial choice that actually makes a difference. It's simple, it's practical, it saves you money every single month. And you're not losing anything. It's just a cheaper swap. So if your phone bill has crept up higher than you would like, check out Visible below. Could save you a lot of money. Okay, life update time. First, because this is Budget Girl, anytime I disappear, people wonder if I've gone off a financial cliff. Promise I'm good. I didn't buy a yacht. I didn't go all in on crypto. I didn't buy another house. I have been spending too much money on fancy beef jerky, but I'll be okay financially, I promise. I will admit that I have not been the world's most diligent spreadsheet person these past couple of months. While I have been putting in my expenses as I've used them, I haven't been reconciling at the end of the month or filling out my net worth spreadsheet. So I've got some backtrack upkeep to do, kind of an administrative catch up, but I promise all is well. I also know what normal looks like for me after all of this time, and my day-to-day spending habits are pretty set. Even with wedding spending, nothing's gone out of hand. Jacob and I opened a joint savings account back when we got engaged about a year and a half ago, and we've both been contributing to it monthly. So as I've been spending on the wedding, I've been pulling it out of there, and it hasn't really touched my monthly budget. Money, somehow, has been a complete non-issue for the whole wedding thing, which is amazing, thankfully. I also had a turnover at one of my rental units, the same unit that I had to evict someone out of late last year. I got a new tenant in and they got a new job, so I released them from their lease with a pretty minimal fee, honestly, and I've been trying to get somebody new in there. Unfortunately, it is not the time of year in my area for turnovers. Everyone wanted this for August, not April, May, June. So I spent several weeks vetting, doing tours, doing all of that stuff, which you have to be really on top of and takes a lot of time in the moment. But I do have some great tenants moving in this month that I'm excited about. There was also very minimal cleaning and repairs needed between the units, which for once something was going right on this. I also put up a new little free library earlier this year. The Cheese Booker is now at home at a local restaurant that does sell burgers. It's adorable. It took me way too long to do, but people have been liking it. I do also have 2 more little free libraries committed for the last 2 boxes that I have. One is going to be a SpongeBob, which is going to go at the local pallet picker place that my friend Jamal owns. And the other is going to be a giant Pop-Tart to go at the Stella restaurant in College Station. They reached out to me when they saw the cheese booker and they were like, can we have one? And I was like, I think we can work something out. Those, however, I'm not going to be working on until after the wedding because I had too much stuff to do. My wedding is in 1 month, like 30-ish days. And for someone who's been engaged for a year and a half, I have done a shockingly little amount of wedding planning, like concerningly little. I tackled the dress very early because it was something I was very concerned about as a plus size bride, and that's been squared away for quite a while. But because we decided very early on to do a super micro destination wedding, I was kind of like, the resort's going to handle most of it. And to be fair, they're handling a lot, but they can't make all the decisions for me. So here we are 1 month out, and there are still choices. We do not have a photographer. I have not finalized flowers. I have not finalized colors. I have not finalized food selection. Haven't done music. To be fair, that's Jacob's job. I have not scheduled or finalized hair and makeup. I also have not ordered a veil, which seems like something that should be done by now, and I only have myself to blame. We also still need to do our prenup. Yes, we're doing one of those. That has always been the plan. I need to schedule our local legal courthouse wedding before we go, and that's mainly because I don't want to deal with blood tests out of the country, and there's other stuff. I'm sure there's stuff I haven't even realized I haven't done yet. So there is more on my list than I would prefer 1 month out. Once again, all on me. I have taken on most of the planning because Jacob is in a very demanding PhD program. We also both have full-time jobs. We have volunteer commitments, and this year has moved very quickly. We've both kind of referred to it as it's just been keeping our head above the water. It feels like we're drowning. We're also not doing a lot of the traditional wedding things. No shower, no bachelorette party, no reception back home, no registry. We didn't even send out invitations. Our travel agent made a wedding booking site for the people who will be attending, and we shared that with the people that we wanted there. That's pretty much been the extent of it. And I kind of keep going back and forth between wondering if we're doing this wedding thing really right or really wrong. I've kind of learned through this process that I really don't care about developing the skill set that you need to plan and put on a wedding, or most of what the wedding industry tells women that they need to care about for this. I do not care about fonts. I don't really care about flowers, honestly, or hyper-specific decor details. I couldn't care less about making 1,000 aesthetic decisions. I care that I get to marry Jacob. He's that way. Our family gets a beautiful trip, and that it feels special. That's kind of it. I do worry a lot that I am like missing something major because I haven't done this before, and anytime I try to go down the online rabbit hole of wedding planning, it just explodes, and I go, oh, no, I hate that. That said, despite not being a chill person at all, I do feel like I've been a very chill bride. There are only a couple of things that I really care about. The dress is beautiful. The location is beautiful. And the people that I care about most are going to be there. And being intentional about what I really care about has also made this a much more affordable wedding than I originally anticipated, and definitely more affordable than what the internet tried to tell me a 2026 wedding would cost. Let me show you where we are. Our flights were $1,276 for me and Jacob round trip. Our all-inclusive resort stay was about $3,100 for a week. Travel insurance was $469. Our travel agent fee was $250. And this is something we probably could have avoided, but as we were looking just everywhere for where to get married, what resort to choose, we got overwhelmed very fast. And I chose to reach out to a travel agent who could help us narrow down and give us some recommendations based on our needs. I'm 100% good with this decision. And I felt like it took a lot off of my plate. Like, the person that I hired has been to this resort, knows vendors in the area. He understands it, and he was able to kind of tell me, based on how I described what I wanted our experience to be, how it would be the best fit. And he gave me like 6 options, which was so much better than the infinite of the internet. The resort wedding package deposit was $1,000, and all in, that's going to be about $1,560 before any add-ins we might do. So our destination wedding and travel money that we've spent so far right now is just over $6,000. Then there's also like miscellaneous stuff that was just stuff that we wanted. A maid of honor gift, a really cute purse that I'm bringing to all the wedding things, and it'll be kind of a little souvenir. earrings, wedding ring. I paid for Jamie's bridesmaid dress. I bought bridal pajamas. My dress, which was $250, I bought secondhand, never used. Custom gift bags for our guests that are coming and little things for inside them, like a wedding t-shirt, which you might think is cringe, but I think everyone there will like and appreciate it. And if nothing else, it's an incredibly comfy sleep shirt. The total for that is just under $1,000 so far. We're not totally done yet, but as of filming this, the total that I've spent on the wedding so far is $6,964.67. We do still have hair, makeup, photography, licensing, and a few other add-ons that are going to happen. Jacob doesn't have his shirt or his shoes yet, but I would honestly be really surprised if this wedding goes over $12,000 all in. I'm anticipating things to happen that will cost money within the next month, and I'm fine with it. For a wedding, honeymoon, and family vacation all wrapped into one, I feel pretty good about this. I don't feel like I'm cheaping out. I think it's going to be beautiful. I think everyone involved is going to have an amazing time. I am just so ready to be done planning it. I have found out about myself that I deeply abhor wedding planning. This feels like a one-time use skill set that I have had to semi-develop and haven't really cared to. I have no passion for comparing centerpieces or doing any of that detail work. I have no wish to become a professional wedding planner to do my wedding. I am so happy for the brides who become so skilled and so knowledgeable to prepare for their big day. I have not been that bride. I would like to get married and then never think about processional music timing or table linens ever again. And I'm also someone who likes to accumulate weird skills. Like, I was pumped to learn drywalling and other like tool stuff that I could potentially use in the future for house renovations and stuff like that. I got a new little riveting tool and I was able to use it on the last little free library, and I was so pumped to be able to add that to my little skill set. This wedding stuff I'm not going to be able to use again. This is not applicable to the types of gatherings that I throw. And we do throw gatherings. We just put on a party for the Aguilan Pets with a Purpose therapy dog org at a local restaurant, the same one I have my little free library cheeseburger at, with 40 people, 20 dogs. We arranged all of that. We made these beautiful plaques for members who had reached over 100 therapy dog visits, which were absolutely amazing. I, imagine those and worked with someone with a CNC machine and all of the tools and everything like that, a woodworker who helped me bring that vision to life. That was so cool. I commissioned custom portraits of 4 dogs that have done more than 250 therapy animal visits, and then we commissioned custom little wood frames for them. They turned out gorgeous. I like doing that kind of thing. This, not so much. And it's not because I don't want to get married. Obviously, I want to get married. I'm so excited to marry Jacob. It's just a different type of party that feels like it has so much more pressure on it. I would love to know if you felt like this about your wedding or not. I don't know if it's because I'm an older bride. I feel like I would have felt a lot more pressure if I was getting married in like my 20s versus my late 30s. Jacob and I have been together for 9 years, or will have been, on our wedding. And I'm just excited to make it, legal official with him. It'll feel like a level up in our relationship, and that can happen with or without the party. Outside of the wedding chaos, there have been some very fun things happening too. Rosie Posey finally passed her therapy animal test after 2 fails, and she's honestly been doing so good. We're so proud of her. She's kind of settled into her job, and she has loved going to campus and these other events and seeing students and working with Stella, and that's just been really fulfilling. I joined a local book club that is new. That has been so much fun. It was really cool to go to this fancy kind of Bridgerton-esque party for the last book that we read. It was at the country club, and I got to just yap about books all night. So much fun. It has recently turned into a subscription model, which I'm normally very against, but it's only $6 a month, and you get the monthly book with it. So I feel like I can swing that. Work has been fine, very busy. We're about to get a new president at Texas A&M, which is exciting, but a little stressful, and I am very much looking forward to having 2 full weeks off for the wedding. I've said this before, but when life gets really hard to manage and you've got all these plates spinning in the air, it's really important to know which ones are ceramic and which ones are plastic and which ones you can let fall. Some things cannot hit the floor. Some things can. And this year has just been one of those times when I've had to let a few plastic plates bounce. Some turned out to be a little more fragile than I thought. I still need to do my taxes this year. I know. I will pay the stupid tax on that one. I just hate it. But that also brings me to this last thing. And this is honestly one of the reasons that I've been putting off filming. Rory is no longer with us. You guys have known Rory as my little sidekick for the entire time I've been on this channel, and she made it to almost 17 years old. I loved her so much. She had lost a lot of physical ability, bodily autonomy. We had to make a call. This was the worst thing I've ever had to do. I'm not sure I'll ever be okay about it. But she was such a constant part of my life and of this channel, and you guys deserve to know. I still can't talk about it or even think about it without just full on breaking down. So that is where I've been. I'm so sorry to tell y'all, but that was a little overwhelming for a while, and probably will be for quite a while moving forward. So that's where I've been. Some good things, some really awful things, some exciting things coming up, but I'm here. I'm glad to be back, and thank you for sticking with me even when I have to step away for a bit. I will see you guys in the next one. Maybe the next time you see me, I will be in business. Hopefully, I'll check in before then, but maybe not. No promises. Bye.